without any complications, without heavy decisions, carry a bigger load than you have to, other than getting your education, then you stick to the answer, no.
Why is that so important for girls and not guys? I mean, it seems like you're just addressing the girls and the guys are kind of on their own.
No, Brian. No, this goes to the boys and the girls. You know, the boys get a girl pregnant, you know, they're held accountable and responsible for bringing a child into this world. You know, you got your child support and you have responsibilities. Mother's responsibility, they carry the baby for 9 months, they have the baby, they have to take care of the baby, and they're going to school, they're going to college. It's very complicated, and I'm going to say this is a high percentage. 9 out of 10, and I read this in the teen book, 9 out of 10 marry the father of their child. Agree or disagree? I've read it in teen reads.
Disagree.
You disagree?
Yes. Yes.
You think more than 9 out of 10?
9 out of 10 don't.
Less.
9 out of 10 don't marry.
That don't, right. Thank you, okay? So, when you say, Mr. Brian, I'm just focusing on the girls, no, I'm not. I'm focusing on you. But I'm letting the girls know that not too many men marry the mother of their child. At school, what we hear is baby mama, no, mama baby.
Baby mama.
Baby mama. That's all we hear in school. And you know what? Where are the parents? Where's the father? That's what I'm saying, Mr. Brian, that not to say you are also should be learning. You made your decision to say no because ultimately you're going to be responsible for this child just like the mother is. However, yours is in the financial child support. You're trying to go to college and get a degree. You need to work and go to school. You need to pay your child support. Okay, good. So let's move on. Let's move on.
What happens if you don't pay child support?
Go to jail.
Well, ultimately you go to jail. It's a process, but they'll fine you. They'll fine you, and then when you go renew your license, you can't get your new license because guess what? Your Social Security fell in that long line list of all those numbers of all that child support. So the male and the female, as parents, you're going to be held accountable at one point in time with your child. So if you make the decision to say no to sex, you eliminate all those issues that will come to you while you're trying to get an education. Okay? So let's see now. I'll ask you a few. What would it take for Jasmine to resist the pressure Michael is putting on her? Before they go on a date, what could she do to prevent all this, oh, I'll take care of you, or you know I love you, and all this other stuff? Mr. Peters?
I would probably guess what she can do is to communicate with him, let him know what type of female she is, the things she indulges in, things she do not indulge in, and be open to let her know I'm not into sex.
That is awesome. He has a plan. She came up with a plan. What else?
Don't dress provocatively.
Ooh. Very nice. What other thing?
She can ask her mom to drop her off and pick her up.
Ooh.
So she's not
Ooh,
going with
Mama's
us.
got that leash, huh? Mom's don't know where she's at and she's picking them up. Ooh, that's a good one. What else? How about courage and being determined to say no? Courage. How many of us at one point we set ourselves, you know, we got this courage where I'm going to stick to it, I'm going to make that decision, and I'm not going to change it. And how hard is it to keep that level of courage when you're actually literally going through the situation? It's hard. It's hard. It's not easy. It's very hard. Very tempting. Shouldn't I? I said no. I got to stick to it. I mean, you start thinking of so many things. So courage is one. Okay? Knowing where you're going first, like Peterson, you know, you sit down, you communicate, you know, you have no intentions of going any further than other being friends and dating and getting to know each other better, and maybe after high school, maybe after you graduate, maybe once you're an adult, you're ready to make that decision and be active, and then you have choices to do what you need to do. And the person to appeal. I would like to summarize by noting that it takes a decision about what your limits are. Another thing is also standing up for yourself, to stick to the decision that you have decided in your limits. How could you avoid pressure situations? We cover them. But how could you avoid situations where you're in a date? One, avoid being by yourself. Double date.
Yeah, bring friends.
Yeah, go on a double
Third
date.
date.
Yeah. Ask where they are going before she actually asks parents, may I go? You know, where are you taking me? Why do you want to know? Because I need to tell my parents. Ooh. Okay. Avoid alcohol and drugs. Make sure there's no alcohol. And tell him about your limits first before you get started with the relationship. Point blank. And don't date older male. And like I said earlier, not necessarily if you were dating a 15-year-old, 18-year-old girl and you're 20, that doesn't necessarily mean she's going to act like 18. Sometimes they're 18 and they're acting like 24. So this is where you're going to have to balance and clear your decision of who you're going to get involved with before you actually get involved.
So you mean like a 14-year-old girl shouldn't date a 16-year-old boy?
Well,
a 17-year-old
it's
boy?
advised not to, Brian, because of the level of thinking. And you know, sometimes a girl is 14 and he's 16 and she acts like she's 21. That's why it's so important to get to know the person as who they are before you make yourself a commitment to want to be a boyfriend and girlfriend. Okay? So then the power to say no. You know, share the tools and the tips. We've talked about it. No. Say it strong and clear. Say no again, like I did over. I don't know how many times I said no, but I didn't stop. Okay, consistency on your decision that you make. Say I don't. Say let's do something else instead. Ask why are you pressuring me? And make sure you leave the area. Okay? Now, there is another play. Do you remember what time I started?
You got like 10, 15
Ah, okay. I am going to, let me see if I made enough copies. Laura, would you like to share with one of these girls? Here, maybe you can share. Mr. Brian, ooh,
I have one.
you have one? Here we go. Here. Okay, guys, this is so interesting because I like this part. The party, okay? I would kind of like for you guys to work in groups if you want to. That would be okay. And if you want to do individual, it's okay. Because ultimately, at the end of our little activity, I'm going to let you guys work in groups. And you all take turns. You alternate and take turns. I am going to read the story to you guys. And then, here we go. And then you have those lines where it says you fill it in on what you would say, okay? On this row is, the title is The Party. On Saturday night, you go to a party with someone that you really like. There are no adults at the party, and everyone is drinking. You and your date dance and have a beer. Your date leads you into a bedroom, locks the door, and kisses you. Your date starts to lay down on the bed. You feel a little dizzy from the beer, and you are uncomfortable with the situation. You do not want to have sex. I'm gonna give you guys about 5 minutes. Pick up your pencils and fill in the part where it says you. How would you answer it? Does anybody
Can we
have
write on
any
this?
extra pencils? Here's a pen. Who needs a pen?
We can write on it?
Yes. Yes, who needs a pen?
Oh, we have one.
Here. Take your time, think about what you would say.
Come
How
on
we go to the
down.
bathroom.
Oh, more. I don't feel good. I'm gonna go.
I said, no, I got back problems. Good mattress.